I am here with the legend, Matthew Lillard.
The
Matthew,
legend is that's such a big intro.
legend. Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's right.
No, trust me. When people find out that I talked to you, they're gonna be like, "You talked to Matthew Lillard?" I'll be like, "For 10 whole minutes."
And he was early.
He was super early, and then he had to leave and go get his furniture. So it was. But to people because we're different generations, in my generation, because you're known for Scream and Scooby Doo, and like all of those movies are so iconic to people my age, like 20s to 30s. Like it's the most iconic thing. That's what people talk about when you go, "Oh yeah, Matthew Lillard." They're like, "Oh, the guy from Scream? Oh, Shaggy from Scooby Doo." So you're a pretty big deal.
I'm sorry that your parents had terrible taste in movies. That's really what it comes down to.
If it makes you feel better, my dad did fall asleep during the Scooby Doo movie when he took us to see it in the theater. So
He was tired. That's all. He wasn't
yeah,
bored. He was tired.
yeah. I'll give that. I'll give that to him. He's got 5 kids, so it makes sense.
Yeah, trust me, he was tired.
All right. The reason I'm talking to Matthew today is because of his new whiskey, which sounds delicious and like it would burn a little bit on the way down. It's called Sandkeg's Hide. Now, please give me some backstory on this. And did I pronounce Sandkeg correctly?
Yeah, so I started a company with a couple partners called Find Familiar Spirits, and what we do is we go out and build high-end sort of spirit experiences around fandoms. And so we launched back in October with a product called Quests. And Quests End has had now 3 releases: Paladin, Paladin Plus One, and Rogue. All 3 of those releases went great. Basically, what it is, Quest End is a series of 16 different drops. Each drop is a different class in Dungeons and Dragons, and each drop is a continuation of an ongoing epic saga. Right. So it's a story wrapped up in a whiskey experience, wrapped up in nerd nirvana. If you are, somebody once said, Todd Stashwick once said, the perfect Venn diagram, or the Venn diagram of whiskey drinkers and D&D players, is a perfect circle. So we launched that back in October. It went amazingly well. Like, we blew everyone's doors off and expectations. We smashed all of our own expectations, plus the industries. And so that was really fun. And very exciting to be a part of, a day in the day out, growing a brand and trying to figure out how to build luxury goods for geek culture. And the next iteration was like Critical Role, which, if you don't know, Critical Role is the single biggest sort of D&D streaming show out there, millions and millions of followers, and they do everything. They do live shows at Wembley. They have ongoing animation series. They're incredible, and they're incredible people, and they're iconic in the community. We reached out and thought, hey, maybe there's a way to build an in-world version of something they have in Critical Role, and they were receptive to it, and our team found this thing called Sandkeg's Hide, which is, it appeared in season 1, episode 65. And basically what it is, it's bile from a sand keg, which is a giant sort of desert like bug monster that has gone through a process to be drinkable. And the minute you drink it, you immediately get drunk and your whole face goes numb. And so there's a whole like in-world aspect of Sandkeg's Hide it's basically, we created exactly how Matt Mercer described it. We create the bottle. We took that episode and we showed it to our master blender, a woman named Ali Ochoa. And Ali went out and interpreted that, and she built this like incredible whiskey that we're really excited to bring the community starting the beginning of next month.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that I know nothing about D&D or Critical. I don't know anything about any of that. I feel like I just got like such an education. Now I feel like I need to go out and find all of these games and TV shows and watch all of them.
That is the idea.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So I guess because I know that with your brand, the end, there's the stories and things like that. Can you give me a hint, or give the people a hint as to what the story with this bottle with the Sandkeg's Hide is going to be?
Yeah, so our whole thing is, can you deliver a premium spirit experience, and within that, build something for the community that you're building for, right? For this, it's Dungeons and Dragons, it's high fantasy, it's this world. So for Sandkeg specifically, so we do that every time. Like, we're like a movie studio. So we're producing different verticals. A movie studio will have a horror movie, they'll have a sci-fi movie, they'll have a romantic comedy. We consider ourselves the same way. Both Justin and I, my partner, both come from the film and television industry. And so our whole thing is we're like a movie studio. So we build these different verticals. So with Sand Kegs, we thought it was important to capture the world capture the bottle as it was described. And then within that, what we did is that we went out and hired these three iconic sort of critical role creatives. So Tyler Walpole, who's our artist, Jasmine Billar is our story writer, and then Devin Rue is our cartographer. So together, the three of them created this in-world story of the first person that went out and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not fermented, and created Sandcakes Hide. It's the story of this young woman who goes off into the desert and follows her uncle's work and then comes back and bottles Sandcakes Hide and basically creates this incredible drink. And so that's an original story that we created. Obviously, Critical Role was partners on that. They helped us through that process, and it's really ripe with all these in-world references and adds to the lore of Exandria and Vox Machina and the desert and the shade and all these elements that critters will immediately know and identify with and hopefully really enjoy.
Wow. That was just so much nerddom.
Yeah. Basically, look, let me just break it down. We build these high-end whiskey bottles, and within that, we build shit to make other people excited, right? So like, whatever you're into, like our whole thing is we're never going to be able to compete with the Jack Daniels of the world, but what we want to do is we want to be the single greatest nerd whiskey in the world. Like, we don't want to be the biggest whiskey in the world. We want to be the biggest nerd whiskey. And so that's us. So our whole thing is like, create things that you're excited about, things that you're passionate about, and hopefully that fandom will be just as excited. Take your time, energy, and effort, build something that you find exciting, and hopefully there'll be people like you out in the world.
Man, that's so awesome. So, are there going to be more bottles of whiskey? Is the story going to continue with more bottles? Can you tell me that?
It's a great question. So Quest End has 16 drops, right? So we're on Rogue now. Warlock launches this summer. Dragon launches around Christmas. So each one of those stories continues an ongoing journey. With Sandcakes, it's a little different. Sandcakes Hide is only on sale for 3 weeks. So basically what we do is a little like sneakers. Like, we took our cue from sneakers. Like, we do high-end drops that launch to community and then they're out. And once it's gone, it's on. So with Sandkegs, our expectation is we'll sell for 3 weeks and that will be the end of the run. Now, look, if something happens and this thing goes epic world class, yes. Is there a chance to bring it back? Yes. Is there a chance to continue the story? Sure. There are things to do if the demand's there. Like, our hope is that, certainly with moments like these, like, our goal is to let people know, like, we need to get out in the world because it is such a finite window. It's so short.
Yeah.
It's a drag on the company in that we are constantly launching things that come and then go. So we build labels, we build worlds, we do stories, and it's for one specific launch or a certain number of units. And then when it's gone forever. It is taxing, but at the end of the day, it's like our business model, and we think it's fun, so we're continuing that journey.
Yeah, you're just making like a bunch of collectible like alcohols.
Yes.
Which is what nerds love to do. We love to collect things.
Yes. The idea, hey, here, if you love whiskey and you love gaming, there's a world in which we're going to build something that's built for you. Listen, we've been blessed. The launch has been incredible. We've found community already. Like, our whole point is like, how do we build community? And look, we're still an organization. We have 6 people. I work full-time for the company. Justin works full-time, and we're there every day, all day. And so we're growing and we're building our mechanisms and learning from our mistakes. And it's been a really exciting and successful launch. We've got to figure some shit out. We got to get better at stuff. Yeah.
6 people, really?
So we have vendors. We do work with a lot of vendors, so we'll outsource stuff. But
just like you're like immediate. That's 6. Wow.
Yeah, 6 people on a call 3 times a week. We live and operate virtually, right? We get in person every quarter, but we live and operate virtually, and we're trying to build a juggernaut. We're trying to build like the nerd mecca of booze.
Ah, that sounds like such a great time. I'm gonna have to be in line on May 2nd at whatever liquor store and be like, excuse me, I need this
Yeah.
bottle of whiskey, thank you.
Well, here's the good thing. The good thing is that we go direct to customer. So one thing about us is that everything we do is B2C. So we go right to customer. We ship to 39 states in America. We're working on worldwide distribution. That's going to take a hot minute, but that's what we do. So we we can ship it right to your doorstep.
Ooh, don't tempt me with a good
Even
time.
better, even easier.
So with with Quest End and all the stuff that you're doing with them, how do you manage to run this alcohol empire and continue to act?
That's the thing. Look, in a career that spanned, I think Serial Mom, the 30th anniversary of Serial Mom, which was my first movie, was last week. So I've
Wow.
been in movies for 30 years, which is like, what? It's kind of crazy. Look, there ebbs and flows. The thing that's the hardest thing about being an artist as a full-time job, as a writer, I'm sure you feel the same way. It's like it's not the jobs that make it hard, it's the time in between jobs that make it hard.
Absolutely.
A long time ago, I was like, oh, I'm not built to just sit around and wait. I'm not built to like wait. For somebody else to give you permission to work is not a way to live a life. Because then you're just waiting on a phone call. Actually, it's so funny. I'm literally waiting on a phone call to find out about a TV series today. They didn't call yet. But that's the thing. Is like many years ago, I was like, what are the other things that I like to do so I can fill my life with things that I love while I wait for Hollywood to figure out that I'm worthy of being hired. Yeah, you can't put your worth in this world based on any corporate anything, right? You can't let that define you. So that's why we build this. That's why
truer words.
Yeah.
No truer words have ever been spoken. I love that, and I try and preach that to my friends too. I'm like, look, go have fun. Do what you want to do. Your work will be there.
It's hard. It's hard to teach that. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I have 3 kids, and I'm always like, when going to college, I'm like, go off and study the things you're excited about. And then in life, you will find a way to put that in your life.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Matthew, I hope that you get that TV job because I loved you in Good Girls.
Oh, thank you. So did I.
I didn't love the character, but
well, he was great. Dean started as a monster and ended as a mensch.
Yes, his character development was great. I was just telling someone about that earlier. I was like, Dean, he was trash, and then he got a little bit better. So like, he did a great job.
I feel like I do that a lot. I feel like I'm a lot of trash.
Oh no!
At the end of the day, I'm actually a good guy. But
yes, we all love you. Oh my gosh, we all love you. I met you at a Horror Hound convention.
Did?
Yeah, I took a picture with you in Ski Ulrich. I think it was last year in Ohio, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like I was standing in line with my friend. Oh my God. My heart was racing. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to meet Matthew Lillard and Ski Ulrich. Oh my God, oh my God. And so it actually worked out because you're pretty tall and I'm pretty tall. So I got to stand next to you and my friend got to stand next to Ski. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It is funny how those moments have weight and meaning for people. And that's why I love conventions. I think that you have the ability to affect and change somebody's life if you're available to that, right? You can find this little queer kid in Ohio or somebody struggling with addiction, whatever. You can see life is hard for some people, and you have the ability as the guy from Scooby-Doo to hug the shit out of them and tell them that you love them. It's a powerful transaction if you're there for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, gosh, for everyone out there who's listening or watching, Sandkegs Hide hits your doorsteps between May 2nd and May 23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
As long as you order it. And then hopefully we'll be seeing Matthew on our screen sometime here soon with something else.
I have a movie coming up called Life of Chuck that Mike Flanagan directed, and then I've got Five Nights at Freddy's 2 going into production, and then hopefully I get a TV show. No call yet. I'll let you know. No call.
Look, yes, let me know. I'm putting out the vibes that you're gonna get the call for the TV show.
Vibes are accepted in this house. I'll tell you that right now.
All right. Positive vibes to you. I hope that your furniture is unharmed.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go find out.
All right. Matthew, you have a great day. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another celebrity interview. Of course, the KJ Today show isn't just about talking to celebs, it's about hanging out with you. Join us live on Wednesday nights for pop culture, people to know, and pets. The KJ Today show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch live Wednesday nights at 7.